You're listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more. Wepa, mi gente, welcome back to the baddest, greatest podcast in the multiverse. That's right, it's your boy Al Mugger here with another dope episode of the Comic Crusaders Podcast. And today, we're bringing back a legend, baby. That's right, my man here is the supreme mind behind the ultimate traveling geek film festival. That's right, GeekFest Film Fest is in the building, baby. And this year's hitting year 12. I'm sure it's been a wild ride from day one to now, and my man got the inside scoop on what's fresh, what's fierce, and what's straight up mind-blowing at this year's fest. That's right. So from next level indie geek films to the crazy stuff that goes down behind the scenes, we're going to cover it all. So grab your popcorn, hit that subscribe button, and let's start rolling the gig with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Bill Ostroff, baby. How you doing?
How's it going, man?
I am doing fantastic, brother. Welcome back to the Comic Crusaders Podcast, brother. Appreciate you being on and talking about year 12. Wow, Bill. 12 years of a GeekFest Film Fest in 2025, brother. Insane, bro. You know, now that it's 12 years old, right, and it's about to hit its, it's basically in its preteen years, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that GeekFest Film Fest is hitting its rebellious phase? Have you caught it sneaking out to indie horror festivals behind your back?
Not yet. We're still, those couple of years where we were locked in our apartments and homes, I think, sort of stifled our little baby, but we're getting back into gear. This year is looking to be pretty exciting. We'll be back at minimum at 3 conventions this year, possibly a 4th.
Wow.
So we're looking at we've restructured a little bit this year. We're currently right now in our call for entries, so that this fall, when our festivals come around, we'll be able to, have some fresh content.
Excellent. And there we go. So talk to me, brother. How has the festival evolved over the years? What's the biggest, would you say, glow up moment where you sat back and thought, yeah, we're that cool now, baby?
It's a good question. I think, the fact that our hometown, Los Angeles, Comic-Con has really sort of embraced us now. From what it looks like this year, they're going to, if you got wood around you, knock on wood, we're going to have our own room. So we're going to basically just from beginning to end, we're going to be programming screenings. We're going to be panels for the entire weekend. So we're excited about that, and that we're growing on their exhibition floor. Last year we had a 4-booth table space, and we had lots of really cool special guests from the indie horror and sci-fi community in and around Los Angeles. So it's been a lot of fun. We're just trying to, offer the opportunity to more, short filmmakers that, deal in sci-fi, horror, fantasy, and fan films. To get their stuff out there and, screen with us.
Moving away just for a second from the film fest, being that you're saying you're in LA, are you okay out there? Did the fires affect you or the business in any way?
Not really. I mean, I'm not that close to the areas that were hit with the fires. But unfortunately, that's sort of what happens in LA. We have a fire season. We have a rainy season, which lasts about 2 weeks.
and unexpected earthquakes. No, thank you.
yeah, we get those all. I mean, if you're lucky, maybe we'll get one while we're on.
Good, bro.
Yeah, but,
I ain't gonna know either, man.
It's been, it's been good. We're just trying to we're trying to make GeekFest a little bit bigger this year.
You're not trying, you're doing, baby.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it'll happen with the help of with the the special guests, with the help of more entries, with allow us with more screenings. One of the things that we've noticed over the last few years, and that official website is wrong on there. Just so
really?
you know. Yeah.
Oh, that's what you sent me, man.
geekfestla.com.
All right, I'll fix it right now, bro.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, it's been good. It's been good, and I think that shortening the call for entries window and the season helps us a lot too. This way, it gets us closer to the content and closer to the filmmakers. One of the things I think that we love about what we do that pretty much nobody else does is that we give the opportunity for the filmmakers to screen at multiple conventions. They get weekend passes. They get to promote their stuff at the booth. They get to promote their stuff online
on the show floor. They get to meet fans. They get to engage. Listen, I'm a first-hand witness and can testify to what GeekFest and how hard Bill does work, to make sure the AV does get promoted. I mean, I've been part of it sometimes, and
you have
to be at San Diego this year. So, you need me for a day to holler for $1. Let's go, baby.
Yeah. Well, San Diego, I usually just go as an attendee. But yeah, you should come out to LA. That's our big event.
Oh, hey, all right, I'm gonna figure that out, man. Definitely got to do that. Now, Bill, you've been doing this for a minute. What's like the wildest or most unexpected maybe film submission that you've ever received? Like something that made you say, "Oh, GeekFest wasn't ready for something like this."
It's a good question. I don't know. I don't really know. I mean, I have to say that having watched, films for GeekFest over 12 years and also having two freestanding festivals that I've been programming for 28 years, it's like things start to like blend together. But I would have to say that like some of the most amazing things that we receive at GeekFest are the Star Wars fan films. Those things are amazing. I mean, the amount of work that folks put into it and the storytelling that is behind some of that stuff. And I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so like for us to get like an hour to an hour and a half worth of great Star Wars fan films a year, and then to be able to show those to attendees. They get a kick out of it. I mean, a lot of people love Star Wars fan films.
They do.
I think that, unfortunately, once Lucasfilm got bought by Disney, that they don't do as you don't see them as much on the circuit.
Mickey Mouse wants to stomp on it. How dare you use my franchise?
I know exactly.
They really are the empire.
Yes.
Yo. So all right. So as the world's first, big traveling geek film fest, all right. Have you ever considered getting a tour bus? Maybe wrapped in epic sci-fi art, driven by a cosplaying driver.
No. I feel like insurance would kill us on that one.
I hear you, right? I know, especially in Cali.
Right, exactly.
I see.
We have thought about expanding our logo, and so for 12 years we've had our GeekFest. We call him Guy because we don't know GeekFest Guy. So we thought maybe this year we'll create GeekFest Gal, and then we'll have them to cosplay together. So we'll have two superheroes of sci-fi and horror fantasy films. Yeah, exactly.
I dig it. All right, so year 12 is here. What's new? What's bigger? What's going to be so mind-blowing this year that fans are going to need to sign a waiver before watching?
Well, we haven't started watching down and judging the films yet.
Okay.
I have been through them really quick to just kind of see what's going on. I do notice that over the last few years, we've been getting a lot of short films that include some sort of geek celebrities and stuff like that. So we're hoping to see, some bigger names as far as the short films.
Oh, cool.
And possibly, you never know. Sometimes the Star Wars fan films end up snagging a couple of folks that are actually in Star Wars. I don't think we're going to get any Pedro Pascals coming out of a Mandalorian costume, but hey, you never know. You never know.
I dig it. All right. So with AI now getting into the mix of everything, right? Have you seen yourself, with submissions, any AI generated films pop up yet? And if so, I mean, like, we're talking Skynet level brilliance, or like more of a toaster made the script vibe?
So yeah, this is the first year we're starting to receive sort of, I would say, fully functioning AI shorts and films.
Interesting.
It's it's hard to, I don't know. It's hard because it's like, years ago when CGI came out, everybody's like, oh, everything's going to be CGI and everything's going to suck and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. The stuff that I've seen so far that have been entered has been pretty interesting. I just don't know how to categorize that stuff yet. So
that's why I asked that, because again, it is generated content to a computer that's scraping, right?
Well, yes, and I mean, yes, and
prompting is something. It's a skill. Let me go there. Prompting is a skill. It is, because it does take writing skill for you to be able to generate, especially consecutively. Because listen, I fiddle with AI video. There's, how hard it is to get it to follow, to look the same, prompt to prompt. It is, it is absolutely difficult.
Yeah,
going.
I don't know much. I don't know much about like how AI works as far as that goes. But the content that's coming out of it, maybe we start sort of an AI category to differentiate it from anything else. But I also look at the fact that you do have people that do animated films, and that's all from their imagination, and it's singularly done. So I mean, is there a place for AI? I would say yes.
There's a film, right, with a cat that just recently came out, was about a black cat. It's apparently AI generated film,
right?
I mean, it's getting out there. You can't stop it at this point. So I mean, if you're gonna put it into the mix, it's like you said, like, how do you classify this? Now, my last question, at least on the AI side of things, when these folks submit that content, do they straight up tell you it's AI content created, or you yourself can tell this is AI?
I can pretty much tell. I think the thing with most AI content right now is it still sort of looks like AI.
Okay.
It doesn't look real.
Not
and it looks, it's sort of like this sort of weird animation with like, the sort of flowy background. And I've watched, I've watched enough films to sort of acknowledge the fact that I could probably tell AI from real, real actual, like, live action movie making. But it's certainly gotten better than what I've seen in the past couple of years. It's starting to sort of make its way now. Whether or not we're going to be going to movie theaters to watch full AI features with like literally with no one in them, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go. But as an animation format, as a CGI creation, it definitely allows you to do things at no budget.
Yeah, I mean, it's smart because you got to pay for the software.
Right. Well, right. Of course.
Software is not free. Yeah, those $20 a month could definitely be converted into, a big potential. I'll tell you that much.
Right.
Now, so let me ask you here: what's one thing about running a film festival that maybe people would be never surprised? Like, are you spending more time approving film, or are you deflecting bizarre fan theories about festival conspiracies? Like what?
It's not glamorous. And
that piano behind you, I mean, I would think you live a life of glamour, bro.
Come on. Yeah, look at my fake piano in the background. I would say that I think a lot of filmmakers have this misconception that film festival directors make tons of money.
Okay.
I would say that's mostly false. I would say anybody who runs an actual real film festival that has real venues, real screenings, like physical events, we're spending tons and tons and tons of money on, venues and management and travel. And so most hotels and food and, and then also the lack of, like, most of us, this is not our full-time job. This is our part-time job or our side gig. So it takes away from our real job. So it's not easy. It's not easy. I mean, I think you've joined me on the year where we did 12 events that year. That year we did MegaCon, and by the end of the year, I was like I had been on planes so much and in hotels so much. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Bill was on so many planes that year. It happened to be the same plane, same seat. He left his ass imprinted in there, apparently.
Yeah, well, no, I have a special. You know how, like, when you go to a bar so much that they put your name on the seat?
The Bill O chair. Gotcha.
Yes, exactly. But no, I would say that, most festivals are, I think, similar to conventions, are undermanned. There's a lot less employees than you think. A lot of us do most of the work. Obviously the outliers are the big film festivals, which I don't even know if you want to call them film festivals anymore. Your Sundances and your South by Southwest and your Tribecas are really sort of like just previews of the films that are going to be coming to theaters, and or streaming.
A trailer con.
Right, trailer con. But like a lot of these events, a lot of those big events are also corporate sponsored, giant behemoths that will make certain people a lot of money. But most festival directors, the amount of time and effort and energy that we put in, and I think a lot of people don't think about, like, the back end of things, like the 6 to 8 months that it takes to prep, to do the call for entries, to do all the marketing, to watch all the films, to share them with all of your screening committee and get all your numbers back, and then figure out, your time slots and how much, scheduling you could do at each event. And, all of your, all of those logistics are very time consuming, and then having to like spend a half an hour talking to you. Fuck.
Like, oh my God, I gotta talk to Al. See, here we go, folks. Check it out. It's right here. If you have your phones and you're watching, I see you guys lurking back there. You know what I mean? So get your phones out and go ahead and scan that. Stay up to date, because the call for entry is year 12. Regular deadline April 12th, baby. It is quickly approaching. So, don't miss out. If you're an independent filmmaker, listen. I've hung out with Bill. I've been in the room with him. I've seen the films. I've met some of these folks that create. Let me tell you, wonderful. Bill is not F around. Definitely wonderful picks, and like it blows your mind. You won't know what your favorite can be, because it's wonderful choices in and out, for real, brother. You really
yeah, we get amazing stuff. We get great product, and our hopes again is that we can show more this year than we've ever shown. We're talking to Rose City up in Portland about getting triple the amount of time that we normally get. With Los Angeles Comic Con, we're going to go from about 6 hours of films to about 10. So that's a lot. It's a lot more short films that we're going to be getting. Plus now that we're
a lot more voting, you mean? They're gonna be busy in them rooms, baby.
Oh yeah. Hey.
You get to vote for your favorite of the night, guys. So it's also interactive when you are part of the film festival, which is really cool.
Yeah. Plus we have our Women of Sci-Fi panel, our Women of Horror panel. We do a filmmaker panel at the end of each day that that allows the filmmakers that are actually screening to chat with their audiences.
Yeah.
So, we do a lot. There's a lot, it's literally a full-fledged film festival within a comic convention.
Yep. You dig down in that room, Bill.
Yeah.
Bill, if you could time travel back to year one, and you could speak to yourself and tell yourself where GeekFest would be today, and what would you tell young Bill, and would that past Bill even believe you?
No. He wouldn't. Because I think that year one was sort of just an answer to something that had happened personally to me. Okay. And year one was more of like, I just want to show the films that were entered into an event that I had co-created, and then it was sort of stolen from me. So I wanted to give the opportunity for the filmmakers to actually be seen, as opposed to them entering something that they were never going to be seen in. So like GeekFest year one was sort of like my reply to being stabbed in the back. I never really thought there was going to be another GeekFest. And I guess similar to my other film festivals, First Glance, is that once I start, I sort of can't stop. I don't know why.
You're a Terminator, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're a machine. So, talking about being a machine, how do you yourself handle filmmakers who swear that their 4-hour-long deep cut sci-fi opera should totally get screened? Like, feel free to name names, unless they have lightsabers,
Right. Well, I mean, we only show shorts.
I know the 4-hour thing was just a joke, but
yeah.
But for those that say, why did you not choose me? I mean, how do you handle that?
Well, I mean, first off, they wouldn't enter my festival because they wouldn't be allowed. But I mean, if you have a 4-hour epic movie that you want to screen, I mean, there's plenty of film festivals out there that may or may not take that kind of product.
Yeah.
You might be better off just, if you shot it in a certain place, like let's say you shot it in LA and you want people to see it. I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't 4-wall a theater in the area and just, open it up for a night or a weekend to sort of show your friends and stuff. And then I guess, I mean, the end all be all would be, put it on YouTube, because you're going to get more, you're going to get more looks on YouTube than any other place.
Yeah.
But I mean, in all honesty, most film festivals, even my freestanding film festivals, if a feature film is like over 2 hours, it's close to not being programmed. Gotcha. Because then you can't really program. You really can't program anything else. It's just like, it has to be just that. So like, if you're doing a 2-hour epic indie film, it better be great. So for
what's
film
the best run time? If they're gonna do a full feature film that needs to be screened, let's talk about just their cut. Director's cut is another thing, whatever, made to be released at a later date. But should they submit something? What's the perfect run time? First of all, what's the perfect run time for GeekFest? What's the perfect run time for my First Glance?
Well, for GeekFest, I would say anything under 20 minutes. 20 and shorter. But that doesn't mean that if you don't have some great, Star Wars fan film or some great, sci-fi short or great horror short that's under 30, even that's great. But, if you think about like, all right, a regular convention room, normally you get kicked out within 60 minutes. So like, if I have a 30-minute short film, that doesn't leave me much room for more shorts.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but if you have a 20 or an 18 or 12 or 7, and that's the thing. I mean, the great thing about what GeekFest is and the way we program in conventions is we have more time. It enables us to do a 90-minute screening or a 2-hour screening of shorts. So we can invest in some longer short films. But even for like real festivals, like once you get above 30 minutes, like festivals start sort of like grimacing at that length.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Well, because like a 30-minute short film is hard to put after a 90-minute feature film. Gotcha. Because now you're talking about, 2 hours of screening which doesn't leave you much time for anything else or Q&A after or, anything like that. And the idea of festivals, especially mine, is that I let, obviously for GeekFest, we group, like themes together. So sci-fi together, horror together, fan films together, animation together. So we try to keep things, sort of easy for people when they come into the room to watch. For our other film festivals, I would say the sweet spot for feature films is around 90 minutes.
Okay.
I would say, 70 to 80 minutes for like drama comedy, 90 minutes, for something a little bit more high concept. You don't want to get much further than 90 to 100 minutes.
Okay. You hear this, folks? This tips, man. I want everybody that's in the game. I know there's a lot of creative people that watch the show, so get in tune over here. You hear my man? So now you watch so many movies, so I'm pretty sure maybe you've gotten inspired. Now, if you yourself had an unlimited budget and resources, what type of film would you make?
Funny you should ask.
Hey, let's go.
Right now I have so over the pandemic I produced 4 feature films.
Awesome.
2 of them are already out, and 3 of them are out now, and 1 of them we're finalizing distribution. They're like the one film that I really want to get off the ground. It's a comic book series, graphic novel by a writer named Josh Howard. It's called Dead at 17. I fell in love with it about 10 or 12 years ago. I approached him and said, "Hey, listen, I really want to try to make this." I'm looking at around $2 million budget for it, because it's sort of high concept, but it sort of has like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets sort of like Agatha all along. So there's like, it's a little witchy, it's a little, it's a little bit demony, it's that kind of stuff though.
It's witchy, it's bitchy, it's demony. There we go.
Yes, right, exactly. But I have a friend of mine who's a director. She's directed a bunch of TV episodes and stuff like that. And I came to her and I said, "Hey, listen, read this. Are you interested?" And she's like, "Oh my God, I would love this." So we're sort of like working on that. I also have a guy in New York that I've been working with for about a year now. We're trying to get funding for a horror sequel called Zombie with a Shotgun.
Oh yes, yeah.
So we've been going back and forth over the last year or so to try to find funding for that. We definitely think that could be like the next Terrifier franchise.
Yeah, the Terrifier could make it. Yeah, I mean that's my brother, he loved to call it gore porn.
Yeah, I mean this is a little bit, but I mean it also there's a bigger story to it. It's not necessarily just about zombies. So it's sort of like throws the zombie genre a little bit on its head.
As you said, we got to do fresh things with zombies. I mean, we can't just keep eating brains all the goddamn time.
Right, exactly. So I really think that it has a lot of potential, and we've chatted with quite a few people. We've had people that have been interested in it, but we're just the budget the budget of like $2 million is like a little bit out of some folks' reach. But we also think that with $2 million we could hire a really great lead actress.
Yeah, baby.
We've been, obviously, I think our goal would be Sydney Sweeney. We probably are beyond her. Yeah, we're probably beyond her now. But
that's everybody's crush right now. I'm telling you.
But there's also there's also other horror actresses that we think that have sort of like, have that potential to sort of run with it. So, we'll see how it goes. But I mean, my dream is just to produce. I love genre films, so to being able to produce like something that's based on a comic book or something that's based on horror, sci-fi, anything like that. I'm really excited about the film. The film that we're getting distribution for now is sort of like I would say it's like a gangster thriller based in Philly. We're hopefully about less than 6 months out from that being on streaming and hopefully in select theaters. Nice. Yeah.
Oh man.
So I'm doing a lot.
I love it, man. Bill keeping busy. No wonder they be ignoring my messages.
Liar, 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 liar.
I ain't playing. Now, man, that's the one thing. When Bill definitely is very responsive. So let me ask here. So I know the film festival can be a little bit brutal. So do you have any insane behind the scenes stories of festivals where things went off the rails, where maybe you had a body slam another promoter that was trying to step in and step on GeekFest toes?
Well, we have that year that we did Rhode Island Comic Con, where they at the last minute changed our room, and we were in a room down a dark hallway that nobody could find.
Oh man. Yeah, nobody wanted to go down the dark hallway. Like, am I going to get mugged at a con?
Yeah, it was literally in the connecting hotel in a.
Oh, that way they put you there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible.
That was the year. I think that was the year after we had that little room on the third floor.
Yeah, well, my family helped you, I believe.
Yeah. So that was one thing, and then we. Surprisingly, over like the past year, I've had to almost deal with a legal issue with someone else claiming that they own GeekFest.
What?
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into it, but
let's not get into it and get step on any legal toes here. But whoever you are, fuck you. In my opinion, I could say it.
Well, the funny part about it is the person tried to trademark GeekFest.
What?
Right, and I've owned GeekFest for 11 years.
Oh yeah, no man, you have the ownership proof. I mean the use of the brand proof.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I have the trade.
Supersedes everything, homie. You lost. Just stop it.
Yes. So they went as far as trying to get a trademark for exactly the same word, and failed, which was nice. But we're still working on trying to get them off of the socials and things like that, because that's
disgusting behavior by people. I don't know why they got to do things like that. I just want to say it's like, yo, why you do that? Like, make your own shit.
There's a thousand other terms you could use for your film festivals.
Absolutely.
So, like, why use? I know, it's similar. I think it's very similar to the whole, like, San Diego Comic Con had an issue with the
word Comic Con. Yeah,
right.
I feel a type of way about that. But San Diego is not a Comic Con; it's a pop culture con.
Right. So but I mean, they own the word. But they own that word.
How can you own that word though? There's so many comic conventions. You can't own that word. That's ridiculous to me.
But they do.
Yeah, but it's just ridiculous. Fucking laws, bro.
But you could call yourself a comic convention.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but you can't just shorten it. So stupid.
Right. Basically, I think they own the word comic-con. I don't think you can use.
It's with the so don't put the dash and you're good. All right.
I think so. Or just don't advertise your Comic-Con at their Comic-Con.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I see that too. That I laugh when I see that. Like, I know if I had a con and I see you trying to promote yours in my show without telling me, we're gonna throw you out looking like Fresh Prince.
Yeah. You're gonna get the Al make a kick in the butt.
All right. So now, if we made a movie about GeekFest itself, right? What genre would it be? Is it a feel-good sports movie type thing, an underdog tale? Or is it a gritty, action-packed thriller where a film fest organizer fights off a horde of zombie filmmakers?
No. It would be a 1 hour long one shot of me sitting at a computer.
Does you type and shit? And ow! Yes. Fucking answer me, you bastard! Right. Are you?
Are you coming? I think it would be sort of a roller coaster comedy with a little bit of tears here and there.
Look at this guy. So also starts reading too, and he said there would be a blind guy giving up prostitutes and 3 comic books at GeekFest in the movie. Testify. So now you have your blind pimp for the movie.
Right. Yes. There we go. But how's the blind pimp going to be able to watch movies? I mean, come on.
Well, so long as you make it smell of vision, he can smell it.
Right. True. But yeah, I think it's been up and down. I mean, unfortunately, I feel like the pandemic really sort of rocked us.
Yeah, you definitely, when we spoke then, you were talking about how that affected. Again, con shut down, which kind of fucks up traveling convention film fest. So,
yes.
I mean, how did you wind up dealing with that? Just so folks in the, I mean, discussed it prior, but just for folks, to catch up on that prior episode, give us a little teaser of what you did to kind of, keep it moving along.
Yeah. So what we did is we teamed up with a streaming company at the time. And what we did was we basically, because we had that call for entries prior to the meltdown of the world, I felt like I had to do something. So we teamed up with a streaming service, which I don't think exists anymore. And what we did was we decided to have Geek Fests on the actual scheduled weekends that those Comic Cons would have happened.
Oh, okay.
Cool. That we would have been part of. And then sort of what we did was we sort of, created like a weekend event within the streaming platform. And we would promote that. And then we would sort of have Q&As with the filmmakers. And it went well the first couple. But then, unfortunately, because everything went streaming and everything went virtual, we just couldn't compete with Sundance virtual or South by Southwest virtual or any of these big companies that had millions of dollars to put into streaming and advertising.
They're doing their thing. They were also, obviously out of the picture, so they had to figure it out too,
Oh yeah, no, and I get it. But it was fairly okay. I mean, I just to me, I love the opportunity of filmmakers being able to show their films to an audience that is going to appreciate them. So going to a Comic-Con, people that are going to a Comic-Con to attend a Comic-Con are sci-fi and horror and fantasy and fan film people. So being able to bring them a film festival where they can get off their feet for an hour and a half, get into air conditioning if the, exhibition room is hot, sit down and relax, stick their phone in the wall and, and grab some power. But also, to appreciate a short horror film or a batch of them and then vote on them. And then, and then again, at the end of the day, come and meet the filmmaker that made that film. I don't think there's a better way of doing it. I really don't. I mean, I know there's genre festivals out there. There's horror festivals. There's, sci-fi festivals. But I don't think there's anybody that does what we do where we combine sci-fi, horror, fan film, action, and put it all together and offer it in comic conventions throughout the country.
Crazy. So let me ask you, you've been doing this for over a decade now.
Yep.
What's the single most rewarding moment you've had running Geek Fest that made you say kind of, yeah, this is why I do this?
It's mostly when filmmakers come to me at the end of the weekend and tell me that they've never experienced anything quite like GeekFest.
Nice.
Because that's why we created it. It's like we created GeekFest to be exactly that. Is like a filmmaker that doesn't exactly know where their film fits because it's genre or it's high concept, it fits at comic conventions. So it fits at GeekFest. And it's as simple as that.
Love it. Now, final challenge here. Can you describe GeekFest Year 12 using only the titles of 3 movies? Now, bonus points if you sneak in any obscure cult classics. A challenge to the movie.
Wow. 3 words.
Now, here's it. Using only the titles of 3 movies to describe GeekFest Year 12.
Wow. I'm drawing a complete blank.
Absolutely. I mean, my man doesn't even smoke, and I caught him in a weed smoking moment. Even like, holy shit, I'm brain stunted at this very moment.
I know.
It's very difficult to do the bill, so I'm happy I actually was able to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you definitely asked questions like I would have to be high to answer because I was like,
Yeah.
like you didn't even prompt me. I'm like, I wouldn't even know.
That's the fun part. You know, some folks are able to do it, some can't. It's okay, but listen, it don't matter because you guys need to be a part, whether you are a creator or
Yes.
a fan of film. GeekFest Film Fest, geekfestla.com. Check them out on Facebook, GeekFest LA, X GeekFest, Geek Film Fest, Instagram GeekFest Film Fest. It's the world's largest comic convention film festival, right? And show the love. I'm showing this banner right here, but check this one out, right? This one actually has a QR code. So for those of you that have a phone, pull it up to the screen, bang, take a picture of that baby right there. Because folks, if you are creators, please understand this. There is a call for entries right now. It is live. It is ongoing until April 12th. You hear me? April 12th of this year. So don't play around. Listen, I've been a part of this. I've seen the films. I've seen audience reactions. I've hung out with the audiences, and see how they love this, how they react, like the love for independent film. And listen, my man Bill is a pioneer. He is a legend because he is celebrating what is the future of film. I'm pretty sure that there's some folks in these films that future stars that may be winning some Academy Awards real soon, because you've definitely had some productions that were like off the fucking hook. You're like,
yeah, definitely.
What the fuck?
Like, well, and hopefully, once we start to make our selections, we'll send them your way for more interviews. So
thank you both for those opportunities as well, because Comic Crusaders, we team up with Geek, and he sends us the amazing creators. So as long as they want to partake, of course, and we discuss their films, show you some trailers, because let me tell you, you will be very much surprised. So tune back into those GeekFest specials that are on comiccrusaders.com. You can see what we're talking about. Show off trailers. I'm telling you, just peep those trailers. You're going to be mind blown. Actually, what's the YouTube you got? Because you also have a YouTube where you can check out some trailers.
Yes, we do have a YouTube. The YouTube channel. I know. I was going to go to YouTube and I was like, oh, it's going to be loud when it comes on. But give me a second. Let me get it to you.
No worries. Folks, you want to stay tuned there. Again, you can get to see a sneak peek via the previews and know what's going to be popping off when you go and make time. Listen,
yes.
It's also
I just popped it in. I just popped it in the chat, and it's First Glance Film Fests on YouTube, and then you can go to the GeekFest playlists. And one of the playlists we have is actually we call it the GeekFest Virtual, and it's basically all past GeekFest films that have been on tour with us that are now available. There's close to like 100 of them. Let me grab you that.
You hear this? You could listen this weekend.
So,
get that popcorn. You guys
this
are
one
gonna
right
love
here.
this.
Boom. I don't know how the playlist will come up, but that's the playlist for.
It's a long ass thing.
That's the virtual. There's like almost 100 short films on there that have all played at GeekFest at some time or another.
I'll add it to the show notes, folks.
And that's the name of the game.
But you rock, man. I appreciate what you're doing, man.
I don't hear you.
You don't hear me?
Uh-oh. Did I turn you off? Hold on. Can you hear me?
I could hear you.
Okay.
There we go. I want to say, hey,
yeah, man, I couldn't hear you for a second. I was like, where'd you go?
Well, good for you. Yeah, you don't want to hear this loud Puerto Rican all the time.
Yeah, you should make plans to come out to LA, man. We could have a Comic Crusaders table at the booth.
I definitely want to do that. But Bill, so that's the next show you're going to be at, right?
No. I think if things go well, there may be a fourth event in Atlanta. We're not sure if that's happening yet. So, fingers crossed, knock on wood. That could be our first event of the year, which could happen in, I believe, July.
Oh, snap.
And then Long Beach Comic-Con, I think, will be our first. And what's interesting about Long Beach is a small run festival out in Long Beach, California,
OBC,
that
baby.
also got hit hard by the pandemic, and they're sort of rebranding themselves this year. So we're working with them to sort of not just rebrand their convention, but also to rebrand GeekFest this year. So we'll probably be there, bigger than we've ever been. And then I think 2 weeks following that is Rose City Comic Con in Portland, and that'll be a partial event. Okay. And then LA Comic Con is I think late September. I think the last weekend of September. And that's a 3-day event. That is our largest event. That usually ends our year. And that's where we do our biggest push, because they run, I think they run about 100,000 attendees for the weekend.
And they do, on average, every year.
So it's a really good festival, especially if you're a filmmaker, a Los Angeles filmmaker. There's nothing better to be able to sort of go to a convention that is really geared towards, LA filmmaking plus genre. It just sort of adds up. So, if you're a geek filmmaker or a genre filmmaker in the Los Angeles area, GeekFest is the place to go.
I agree, bro. 150,000% on this. So, folks, again, I've been showing off all the social media and the websites. I'm gonna put all the missing links, within the show notes. So make sure to check out all these playlists. They're gonna keep you occupied. You guys will become fans, and make sure to support this. So stay tuned to everything that's going on. I'm gonna bring up the image one more time. It's right here, the GeekFest Film Fest. Again, call for entries of year 12, baby. That's right, 12 years.
Year 12, that's right.
Team, yo. Oh my God, it's a pre-team, baby. Holy shit. So again, April 12th is the deadline, you creators out there. So if you got a fire film that you think that we nerds need to be checking the fuck out at these Comic Cons, you better submit right now. Because this is the game right here when it comes.
And if you can't make the regular deadline, there's a few more deadlines on the way. So
there you go.
So if you go to the Film Freeway page, you'll see all our upcoming deadlines.
Fantastic. And with that, let me also show. Hold on. Let me put one more link that I need you guys to see before we go. All right. So this is the Film Freeway link right there, GeekFest. So check that out as well. Film Freeway is a dope website as well. So try to sign up if you're lucky enough. See what's going on. Especially if you're a critic assigned, you definitely should be on that platform, because it's home of a lot of amazing independent film. So I mean, thank you both for even putting me on to this and allowing me to what you guys got going on. But I found so many other things, and it's just amazing. Bless. Check them out. But GeekFest is the business. I'm telling you, you're gonna be thoroughly entertained. They're gonna make you laugh. They're gonna make you smile. They're gonna make you cry. They got all types of stuff, right up the alley just for you. Bill, thank you again for returning and talking about year 12 again. Wow, we've been talking for a while since it was just single digits. So it's like, I love it, man. So you keep going. Blast. I can't wait to see what's going on, and hopefully I could partake with you.
Get out here. Get out
I'm
here.
gonna go to Los Angeles. I'm gonna think about that one, baby. Make it happen.
Get out here, man.
Let's go. And with that, me and my Crusaders, thank you for everybody that tuned in. I see you know what it is, everything ComicCrusaders.com. Got all the social links there, all the latest news and updates from my wonderful team. Hasta la próxima, mi gente. ¡Epa! Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit ComicCrusaders.com and our extended podcast family over at UndercoverCapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.